Hello?
Nancy, this is Terry. Is Mr. Carpenter there?
Why, no. Have you run out of people to convert at the hospital?
Nancy, this is important. It's about Miriam.
Well, I hope the news is as good for me as it was the last time.
This is serious.
Well, isn't everything you do serious?
Nancy, it's very important that I get in touch with him. Now, do you know where I can reach him?
What's the problem?
Miriam has taken an overdose of pills. Her condition is critical. Now, do you know where I can reach Mr. Carpenter?
No, I don't, but are you sure you really want to speak with him? I mean, if things are as serious as you say, he's going to really make heads roll. Oh, well, thanks for telling me that. Goodbye.
Anything important?
Nothing I can't handle.
Mom, she hung up. Nancy wouldn't talk to you? I don't believe her. But you told her what's happened to Miriam, right?
She's gone too far this time.
Mom, you've done everything you can do.
No, I haven't.
Ben, how's Miriam?
Oh, she's in ICU.
Is she conscious?
No, she's in a coma.
Oh, no.
What was it?
Well, all preliminary indications point toward a barbiturate overdose, probably sequelbarbital.
No, that can't be. She was taken off that drug when she was admitted.
No, Terry, I'm not saying how she got the drugs.
That was my first question. What happened, Ben?
Well, Miriam Mason is overdosed on what we think are barbiturates.
Her signs?
They're not good at all. She has a weak pulse, depressed breathing, and she's in a coma.
Oh, this is terrible. Do you have any idea what this could mean? Do you know what the press could do with this?
She wasn't taking medications of that kind.
Oh, I see. She just strolled down to the corner pharmacy.
Listen, Lester, please. We haven't had enough time to straighten this thing out.
Well, you are not going to get much time. Once this hits the papers,
Look, I don't care about the papers. Now, you worry about reputation. I've got more important things to worry about.
A hospital lives and dies on its reputation, Ben. Now, please, don't belittle my worries. You're the director of nursing, Terry. Have you any idea how this happened?
No, I don't.
Find out. And find out fast.
Reputation, huh?
He's under a lot of pressure, Ben.
Yeah, well, he didn't have to shout the obvious.
Okay, all right. Now listen. Let's each of us do what we have to do. I'm starting with Nancy.
What do you mean?
I'm going to go over to the Carpenters, and I'm going to tell Mr. Carpenter what's happened to his daughter.
Well, Terry, you can do that by telephone.
She already tried that. Nancy hung up.
He has a right to know. I am not going to let Nancy stop me from telling him.
Yeah, it's open. Hey, Gil. Hot out there?
Sure is.
You know, we're a little behind on this project.
I know. That's kind of the reason why I came in to talk to you, Dad.
Oh? Labor problems?
Well, yeah. Just something I'm not really sure how to handle.
Well, you know how people slow down at this time of the year.
It's not that. It's Dominic.
Dom? Been with us a long time. What's the trouble?
Well, that sure impresses you, doesn't it?
No, but he is a site foreman. What's the problem?
Booze. He drinks.
So do you.
Yeah, but at least after I've had a drink, I can walk, I can talk, and I can work. He can't.
Go on.
Oh, this afternoon. He misjudged some calculations, you know, and wasted 11 yards of concrete.
11 yards?
Yeah. Ugh. You know, and I hold my breath every time he's walking the girders. Oh, I can't trust him around the trucks anymore. And it kind of scares me when I see him drive off at the end of his shift.
Well, have you talked to him about it?
I've tried. He laughed at me. You know, boss's kid.
Maybe that's not why he's laughing.
Well, why do I get this feeling I don't want to hear this?
Look, Gil, where do you go almost every noon for lunch?
Lacey's usually.
And you drink.
Oh, come on. You're getting off
Now,
the...
wait a minute. Just hear me out. There you are, 1 minute standing side by side with Dominic drinking. And the next minute, you're reprimanding him for his drinking. You're reaping what you've sowed.
Oh. And you're blaming me for his problems.
No, I'm not blaming you for his problems. I'm blaming you for your inability to handle his problems because of the position you've put yourself in.
Come on, Dad. You know, he started drinking before I was foreman, and probably before he even joined the company.
I just said that's not the problem.
Well, I didn't come in here for a sermon, Dad.
Well, what
know?
did you come in here for? Sympathy? I know how tough this is on you. Now, do you want some good advice? You can't be in a position of authority and set such a bad example. Now, it's that simple.
Well, since you're the one with all the authority, and you're sure not one of the guys, then why don't you talk to Dominic?
All right, bring him up here and
Okay,
I'll
I
talk to
will.
him. But you've got to understand one thing. You're going to have to earn the respect of those men. That's not something I can give you.
Are you sure you want to bring this thing back into the living room?
Well, I'm not positive, but I think it looks better there than in the den. Then again,
No, then again, we brought it back in here, and here's where it's going to stay.
well, I'm not sure that I want it back in the same spot. Let's try it over there.
Not me.
Oh, come on. It'll only take a second.
Do you really expect me to get up from this comfortable sofa and continue with your moving madness?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Let's move it over by the wall there. Oh, you're such a pal.
Oh, yes. What friends are for.
That's right. Okay. Here we go. There. How does that look?
Great.
Yeah, it really does look good. But you know, I don't think we'll get as much use out of the table there. Maybe it would be better closer to the sofa.
No, you wouldn't. I mean, you wouldn't do this. You realize you are fast straining the bounds of our friendship to the limit.
Come on, it's not so bad. Besides, the exercise is doing us a world of good.
Sure.
Now let's
Okay,
see.
now where?
Let's try it next to the sofa. Okay, we'll set it down right here and just move this table.
All right.
Almost done.
Watch out for the picture.
Oh, that's right. We wouldn't want to break that glass there. Okay.
Oh, what fun.
Okay. No. No, I don't think I like that at all. No, let's put it... I guess this is best.
Lori, now I know why Ben never helps you rearrange the furniture. It has nothing to do with the excuse you gave. Oh, he never has any time.
I thought the table really would look better in the den.
Mm-hmm. Is that all?
What do you mean?
Well, you've been hyper ever since I arrived. And something tells me it has nothing to do with the furniture. What's on your mind?
A lot of things.
Like?
Like Miriam Mason. Remember I was telling you about her?
Mm-hmm.
She was doing really well. Now she's in a coma.
What happened?
She took some more drugs. I went to see her and I thought she was asleep. But then I accidentally stepped on some pills on the floor. I tried to wake her up and I couldn't.
That's terrible. Explains your nervousness.
Well, not entirely. Just before you came in, I got a phone call from a Mr. Kimball about the Monroe Continuation School. I have an interview with him tomorrow!
Lori, that's great. I knew the Lord had something in store for you, but why didn't you tell me when I first came in?
Oh, I don't know. I guess it just, I don't know, took a while for everything to settle in. And I think I was a little afraid. If I mentioned something, I might not get the job.
Lori.
I know, that's superstitious.
Yes.
Well, okay, let's take a moment now and pray about the job.
Sure. On one condition. That I never have to move any more of this furniture. Ever.
Deal.
Okay.
So what do you think of the house?
Much nicer.
Want to hear some of my redecorating hints?
I'd prefer knowing the secrets of Wheaton Steel. It just went up 1/4 point.
Never ceases to amaze me how business pursuits can keep your interest all through the day. Well, don't dare let that keep you away from Wheaton Steel. I'll get it. Sorry.
I'm here to see Mr. Carpenter.
Well, he's not taking visitors.
Neither is Miriam. Not now, but we'll discuss that later. Mr. Carpenter.
You are not welcome here.
Nancy, I'll decide who can come in here. Now stop it.
Mr. Carpenter, if you care about your daughter's life, you'll hear what I have to say.
Miriam? Why? What's happened to her?
We don't need your personal vendettas
Oh,
coming in here.
Nancy,
and-
shut up.
Mr. Carpenter,
What's happened to Miriam?
your daughter's overdosed on barbiturates. She's in the intensive care unit.
Is she serious?
She's still alive.
Oh, Mem.
We don't know what happened, and it's still too early to know the severity of the overdose.
Is she conscious?
No. Mr. Carpenter, I tried to tell you this on the phone, but Nancy wouldn't let me talk to you.
Oh,
what?
that's not true.
She deliberately hung up on me.
Nancy.
Well, I didn't think it was so serious.
I told you specifically what happened.
Well, here we are, haggling over some administrative error, and Miriam is sick in the hospital somewhere.
And I just don't happen to look at it that
And
way.
I don't think our administration had anything to do with this.
Well, I think we should talk about it later, Charles.
We will talk about it now. How could you keep something like this from me? My own daughter!
Well, I didn't want to worry you. I thought it was, not
Well, she
definite.
certainly gave you enough warning on the phone because she...
Mr. Carpenter, please sit down. Sit right here on the sofa.
What's wrong? What is it?
No, I'm fine, really.
Have you had these before?
Hardly ever.
Hardly.
Well, what's happened?
Please, I'm really fine.
I'm going to call an ambulance.
No. I feel much better.
Mr. Carpenter, you need medical supervision.
Which I can take care of, so now you've delivered your bad news, so why don't you leave?
Mr. Carpenter, I know you've been under a lot of stress these past couple of months. Please see a doctor. It's important that you do.
It's almost over now, and really, I feel so much better, and I want to thank you for taking the time to come over here.
I'll be at the hospital.
Thank you. I want an explanation.
Charles, you're sitting there holding your chest because the way that woman comes in and drops that news, and you wonder why I don't hand you the phone?
Even if that were true, you didn't tell me about Miriam after you spoke to Terry.
Well, because I didn't think it was anything definite.
My daughter in a coma is definite, so don't be ridiculous. Now, we are going over to the hospital, and I am choosing to believe that what you did or didn't do was because of stupidity. The only other reason is deceit. And no one deceives me when it comes to my daughter. No one.
Hey, Tom, come on in.
Hey, how you doing, Jason?
Good to see you. Been a long time since we had a chance to talk. Sit down, sit down.
Yeah, you don't have to pretend we're here to talk over old times, okay?
You know why you're here?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, it's still good to see you. How's Donna?
17 and really pretty.
17. Has it been that long? How old was she when Cynthia died?
12.
12. 5 years.
Yeah, seems like 60. Come on, Jason, you didn't call me in here to talk about the calendar.
Nope. Talk about your drinking.
Were you saying I'm a drunk?
That's your word.
So, what if I do drink a little?
Can't have drunks on a payroll, much less as foreman.
Oh, ease up, Jason. That's a nasty word.
Nasty problem.
Look, drunks laying in the alley and beg for money. I got a steady job.
Yeah, thanks to my forbearance, but 11 yards of concrete? Come
All
on.
right, I blew it.
Got your time cards here, too. What about those?
I'm a single father. I got more than my share of responsibilities at home.
You just said Donna was 17.
Still, she needs someone to be there, so...
Yeah, when she is there, I understand she's not living at home with you anymore. Is that true?
She drops in to see the old man. She's, All right. I've been late because maybe I haven't been feeling so good. Maybe I make mistakes on the site because I got a lot on my mind.
You drink too much, Tom. I can't have that.
Listen, Jason, look at Gil. What about Gil?
I don't like Gil drinking either, but he does control himself.
Well, I control myself, too. You made me head foreman and put me in a cozy little trailer all day long.
Gil's either on the site meeting with architects, going over the payroll, or checking blueprints, and he does all of those things sober.
Jason, you passed over me for that foreman job.
Go look in the mirror and ask yourself why.
Mirror nothing on its on account of Gil being your son.
Oh, knock it off, will you, and quit kidding yourself. I got 4 projects going on out there, 4 head foremen, and you haven't been promoted either one of those jobs because you're not reliable, thanks to alcohol. Liquor's keeping you from having what you could get, and if you don't knock it off, it's going to take what you've already got. Now, is that understood?
Yeah, that's understood.
Is Ben Martin still in there?
Yes.
May I see her?
I'm sorry, no one's allowed inside.
Any signs of improvement at all?
No. Her breathing is still depressed.
Miriam.
Ben, you know Mr. Carpenter.
Ben?
Charles? Nancy? Your daughter's been in a coma for over 3 hours. As with cases like this, her central nervous system is depressed. Her body temperature is low. We're monitoring her vital signs.
Is she in any immediate danger?
As with any coma, it's very serious. And the longer it lasts, the greater the possibility of permanent damage or fatality.
When may I see her?
I have no way of telling that. We really can't do much until her vital signs stabilize. And for Miriam's sake, I hope that's soon.
She has a chance.
Yes. But there is the possibility she won't make it through the night.
So what did Don have to say?
Oh, he pulled a typical who, me? Wouldn't admit he had a drinking problem.
Did you fire him?
No, I just gave him a firm warning. It wasn't easy, though. As a friend, I'd like to help him. As his employer, I can't put up with his drinking.
You know, I'm glad you handled it. I was ready to kick him out that door, severance pay in hand.
Really? You know the first thing he said to me when I told him what his problem was?
No, what?
That my own son drinks with him.
Now, you know there's a difference.
Oh, sure. He had a good argument, Gil.
Oh, come
What did you tell him?
I told him that Gil handles his liquor better than he does.
Which is the truth.
Let's change the subject.
You know, he doesn't drink any more or any less because of me. So you can't start calling me some role model.
No, you're his rationalization. The boss's son drinks on a job, so why can't I?
I picked up the posters for the election today.
Gil, you can't go along with them... Already?
Yeah, 200 of them.
How do I look?
Oh, very distinguished. In your mustache.
Why, what?
I left them 4 8x10s to make the poster with, and they picked the older picture of you when you had your mustache.
Mary Ann Donnan, why did you leave him a dated photo?
Well, you said we were going for the rugged look. And Dave, the campaign's not for a long time now. You can grow it back by then.
Yeah, at least you'll get the lumberjacks votes.
Thanks.
And besides, this way vandals can't paint mustaches on your posters. You're mad, aren't you?
Can you get a refund on him?
I'll see what I can do.
You sure you weren't drinking when you chose those pictures?
Oh, no, not you, too.
Here, let me taste this.
Stop.
Jill, I want to buy a hotel first.
You can't buy a hotel until you have 3 houses.
But if I had 3 houses, I wouldn't need a hotel.
But you make more money from a hotel.
If I had 3 houses, why couldn't I just live in one and lease out the other 2?
I'm really happy you're taking me in, Mrs. Cummings. I feel so much safer here.
Well, we like having you. What did your father say?
Well, I didn't exactly tell him where I was.
Donna?
Listen, it's not as bad as it sounds. I am 17, and I'm gone 3-4 days sometimes without my dad even knowing it.
Still, he has a right to know.
He can find me if he has to. The neighbors know where I am. I hang around with the girl next door, and I told her.
I really think you should call him and tell him.
Mrs. Cummings, if you knew Dad, you'd realize it's not so easy. He'll use anything as an excuse to get mad.
Look at that. You landed on my B&O. You owe me $200.
Says who?
Says me. I own all 4 railroads.
Hey, but I own the electric company.
So what?
So if I turned off all the power and everything else, all the switches and radios, Dad would put you out of business.
Jenny, this is Monopoly, not war games.
Hey, Joe. Guess what?
What?
I'll trade you Baltic Avenue for all your railroads.
But Baltic's the cheapest property on the board.
But Jill, it's got potential.
You know, Sometimes I envy Jenny.
Why?
Well, she's a kid and she's free to be a kid. No one's making her grow up too fast.
You wouldn't say that if you had to buy her clothes. But I know what you mean. Childhood's really strange. You know, you just can't wait to get out of it. And then when you do, you sometimes wish.
Girls, come over here quickly! Hurry! Dad, stay away from me. Jenny, leave me alone!
You come
It's
here.
not his father!
You get away, didn't you?
Leave her alone!
Who, you the ones that took her in?
Get out.
Huh? You get away from me. You make me.
Get out of my house!
Stay away from me. Get her hand! You leave us alone!
You leave me alone, lady. You leave my daughter alone. Come with me.
Hurry up! Are you all right, Jack? Are you all right?
Take down.
Yes, how do you feel? I'm gonna call the police. How does it feel?
You double as a night cleaning lady or something?
Nancy, there is going to be an in-depth investigation concerning what happened to Miriam.
Great. Well, if you need a character witness, just call.
I don't think of you as a witness, more of a suspect.
Really?
I can't believe any of our personnel gave Miriam those drugs. And Miriam herself was well on her way to recovery. You made her take those pills, didn't you?
Yes, you're right. I did, sister dear. But you'll never prove it.